whether you're a North American fan, a South American fan, whether you're from Brazil, from Allen, Texas, wherever you're from, you're going to be rooting for at least VKS to show up and give some competition, because you're right, they did get 3-0'd by FlyQuest. We didn't see what this team was capable of and why they were the #1 seed coming in from the South. So I would love a close series here. All bias aside, of course, as a member of the North American broadcast, but I just want to see some good League of Legends, and I want to see what VKS is capable of.
I mean, I want to see, as stereotypical as it sounds, some blood. Like, we had such a fun time, all three of us, casting 100 Thieves versus Red, where it was over 1 combined kill per minute for that entire series, which is absolutely ridiculous. The Yuumi hover.
I've never seen a crowd get so hyped for a Yuumi hover. That was, I don't know what that was.
But it's actually the Wukong that's going to be coming in for River. He's had some absolutely stellar performances on that.
Yeah, and Wukong here really is one of the premier jungles, especially with some of the changes coming into jungle on the recent patches. So no surprise there. This is a cornerstone champion for 100 Thieves. They love to build dive comps around Wukong and multiple solo laners that will be diving. Interesting that it's an early Neeko pick here on red side for Trymbi. Blue side here, 100 Thieves, they could answer, you know, with a Karma, with a Bard, with something like that early on already. So there definitely are answers. And when we had ThinkCard on the desk, he really emphasized for VKS, a priority for him was to try and get Trymbi counter picks. But once again, VKS are not going for support counter picks for Trymbi, even though they are on red side, and just slamming the early Neeko because they feel like maybe they saw Eyla's Karma game and they're like, we're not worried about that Karma.
Also, it's a take away from Eyla, like we have been saying. Neeko, one of the biggest champions that he's been piloting so far. But it is, I know the crowd was cheering for the Teemo hover. It's the Ambessa instead.
You guys got to calm down with those hovers.
I know. Yeah.
Don't get baited.
First rule of broadcasting. Don't get excited.
100 Thieves love to do kind of troll hovers.
They like working the crowd,
as a group. But we see the Rakan locked in for Eyla, so they won't necessarily be going for one of those super hard pushing bot lanes like a Karma would bring.
Yeah, I actually like this from 100 Thieves. They're just focusing once again on their overall team comp. And the team comps that I feel like they always have the most success for are these full dive compositions where they get both Dhokla and Quid, you know, some dive solo laners as well. And since they already early slammed the Ambessa, I think this is going to be one of those quintessential 100 Thieves, very good at skirmishing compositions. And the Rakan has been one of Eyla's best champions, has been really good with a lot of the setups, so they don't have to worry about you know, some power dive shenanigans going wrong. But VKS as well, themselves, they're going dive too. So we're just going to have head-to-head action. Lots of dives going on for both comps.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's going to be dive versus dive with that Kaisa locked in, as well as the J4. I did want to highlight, we kind of skipped over it as we were initially talking about the draft, but not only is that a great pick to kind of build a lot of different team comps around, but also a takeaway from River, right? It is, I would say, still his staple pick, the champion that he is most known for. Watching him play is just, he knows that champion so well. So not only is Disamis going to be able to try to pilot it against River, but that will be a takeaway for the rest of the series.
So my question now, because Kobe, you had highlighted, it's basically two comps that can dive each other. Who's going to back off first? Who's playing chicken here in this head-to-head? Is it just going to be two dive comps versus each other, or is somebody actually going to pick some kind of kite bag?
Yeah, I mean, some of these are versatile, like, you know, Neeko can be used as peel as well, Rakan can be used as peel as well, but they're both going to be, you know, headed forward. It's going to be head-to-head crash here. So let's get into the rest of it, though, because you need some protection bands when you're playing Ambessa. The main one, of course, is Renekton. So there you go. 100 Thieves laid that one down very quickly. And since 100 Thieves actually opt to go late on the picks here for their bottom lane for FBI, the Corki, who is a premier, you know, AD carry right now and would be good into Kaisa as well, does get taken away. FBI has been pretty happy to go with like stacking champions as
Senna,
well. So
a lot of those things.
I feel like they feel pretty comfortable as far as the depth of that champion pool. And the other protection ban here for the Ambessa, just taking out Boal's Yorick here, which definitely is a big one.
I want to highlight here because there's one last chance for VKS to deny one of the biggest picks for 100 Thieves. Quid's Yone is still on the table. And it was not banned away. I love like the Yone and Ambessa comps. They can both dive in together. What do you think the chances are that that should be on VKS's radar?
Unless 100 Thieves wanted to go with the Ziggs as bottom lane then, because you would be really heavy on AD then. I think it might pigeonhole you a bit too much into like full AD. So probably not the highest of priorities, but we'll see. The Aatrox answer isn't like, oh, I'm going to crush Ambessa in lane, you know, something like Renekton or Volibear, and is much more playing for the team. So let's see about that FBI pick that they push down in priority here and will feel okay about. Lucian,
yeah,
he had a rough Lucian game, but he also had a good one previously, so.
Swap to Galio at the last second.
Yeah.
There you go, Kangas. You get some more peel. You get some more counter-engage options that you were kind of looking for. And there you get your AP and your setup for mid lane. Always love when you do have Galio with a carry jungler, and River Wukong is for sure a big carry jungle. So you can have Quid do a lot of setup for the mid lane. Even though it is technically blind tier, I guess you could possibly swap a Neeko into mid lane, but I think that is very low on the chances.
Yeah, and it will be the Lucian that FBI will be piloting in his first game, as we see the Heimerdinger.
Great start for the crowd, by the way. I gotta say, this crowd in the stadium is already making a lot of noise. I'm loving to hear it.
And this is going to be super fun because this means we are going to get, aggression on both side lanes here. Now we're going to see if we get aggression in mid lane too. I think we will. Mireu here with the Ahri, looking for the picks.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to be looking for both junglers, but especially Disamis around this J4, who does have so many of those kind of early options that we have seen River pull off before, right? So see how he'll be able to combo with that Ahri, potentially try to keep Quid down in this game.
Yeah, definitely one of the big threats of Ahri Jarvan is really early ganks. They don't even need their level 6s to go threaten a melee champion like Galio. Can just go flag and drags into charms and look to threaten that way. You can also just trade flashes really early on and then look to repeat. So we'll see what area they try and pressure early on. Wukong, of course, is probably going to be looking for full clears into second full clear to try and get your level 6.
You don't say. I mean, it is River. Maybe we'll see a little spice, but
he does like to get
probably
creative.
not.
Yeah, but expectation definitely is more of that scaling focus for the Wukong, getting towards that level 6, getting towards that first item, the J4. Let's see if Disamis has the confidence as the coaches are giving their fist bumps. A big moment for both of these teams on stage today. The last heist of the Thieves versus the last chance for Brazil. The Kings of the South versus the Thieves of the North. It's Vivo Stars versus 100 Thieves. Game 1 right around the corner.
Yeah, and I feel like both of these teams kind of got what they wanted in terms of having this heavy dive, in terms of having so many different teamfight options. For me, the difference then becomes, okay, what are the neutral objective contests actually going to look like? Who is going to have the better setups? Because with team compositions like these two, there are just so many different angles that someone can be coming into a fight, and I think that's definitely where the game is going to be won.
And Kangas, you mentioned the last heist. This heist for 100 Thieves has been going on for so long. The analysts did show their count in best of 5s here. The 100 Thieves, 6-1 since they faced their first possibility of being eliminated. And they have just been able to win and win and win. A lot of people, correctly so, kind of credit the move from Dhokla from coaching role into starting role on this team, and teammates talking a lot about what he does bring to the shot calling and the focus of the team as well. So big stuff here for 100 Thieves. They are on quite the miracle run, quite the role for themselves. And let's get right into game number 1 here and see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, on the other side for Vivo Stars, they're hungry too, because again, they did not show what they were capable of versus FlyQuest. They're hungry to prove to this live crowd and everybody watching at the Brazilian watch parties back home just what they are capable of doing here in the north. But as we are watching the game now, junglers are both starting on the top sides of the rift and will be pathing identically towards the bottom side.
Yeah, so we'll see if they want to end up doing anything on those bot sides. I am still looking to see if potentially Disamis is going to want to do something mid as well, maybe a little cheeky Jarvan gank. But my expectation is that both of them, especially since he is being tracked, they're both just going to pass bot.
Exactly, that's the key there. The ward on Raptors going to disallow the possible Jarvan level 3 move through mid lane would be seen. So Disamis just continue on with his clear. keep on being efficient, end up towards this bottom lane. And so far, they've got one heal out. Eyla did use the summoner spell heal early on for the extra heal. But here we go. We're the Western version of the heist.
Yeah, last time it was getting on the train, or getting past, I guess, like the ticketer on the train. They made it through. Now they have arrived in Dallas, but can they make it to championships on Sunday versus FlyQuest is the actual question here, as Dhokla and Boal trading on the top side. Both of them have a lot of life steal, so not expecting a lot of action there.
And the reason they can trade so heavily like that is because, you know, they did have confirmation for both teams of junglers pathing down towards bottom side. So top laners get the green light, the go ahead. All right, we can scrap, we can push in. Boal trying to get that push on the Ambessa. Meanwhile, both bottom sides, because both teams are very well aware of jungle paths, they have both defensively warded their lane. So they are ready for the arrival, and Disamis with a quicker clear is going to get into position first.
And this is where bot laners will oftentimes really push the wave, because they want to be the first one to answer in case the junglers meet up, but Disamis will just be uncontested. Instead, River identifies, I got to path up towards this top scuttle instead.
Yeah, he's already heading towards top scuttle. They had pinged Disamis out on that scuttle.
So there's actually a chance that VKS can push River off of this scuttle. He's got to go fast.
He'll get
Smite timer is just winding down here. Should be able to have.
In Fog of War, he got it. Okay, didn't even need the smite. Well timed by River right there. That actually came down to a couple inches.
It's quite nice, too, because of the fact that Disamis came up to try and contest him on it. Delays his recall, so there's no, like, difference in extra timing there. There's no extra little bit of tempo for the Jarvan. Both of them are resetting on the exact same recall timer, and is going to be a second top-down clear for both of them. Since the bottom lanes, you know, still have most of their summoner spells down there, should look like just regular clears.
Yeah, we're looking at a quiet early game, all things considered, in terms of especially what we've seen from some of these teams, especially 100 Thieves.
Getting used to the stage.
In their ramp up.
They got to get comfortable up there. But also, I will say, yes, it doesn't feel like a lot, but to me, it seems like more than we're letting on, because we highlighted the fact that River wants to hit level 6, wants to get that first item. So in my mind, being synced up with the Disamis is actually a pretty big deal for 100 Thieves as jungler.
Yeah, I think it's good from River. He is in a good spot. The big thing is going to be where kind of the mid prio is going to lead. Thus far, you know, Mireu's Ahri has had control over that lane, so we'll see if River wants to either come into the lane or potentially do something around it. With Drake now up as well, that's kind of where we're going to start seeing teams potentially move around these objectives, as we see 100 Thieves ascending their bot lane top already for that kind of classic early lane swap.
Exactly, moving up to top side, so that means is going to have some roam timers for a Neeko as well, though, so everybody should be counting their minions. Trymbi resets from base through mid lane. That is always preferred, so you have the options, and they can just go down to the bottom side. Since they see the swap from 100 Thieves up top side, they know this dragon is as free gets. So VKS will get their Chemtech dragon here, and look to the other side for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, so 100 Thieves probably are going to have an eye on these grubs, right, as we see River kind of making his way up to the top side. VKS locking in that first Drake thanks to their mid prio and kind of this mismatch that they had on the reset with 100 Thieves sending their duo lane bot and them keeping their duo, or their dueling top, and then VKS keeping their dueling bot. And
a little small interaction there. Trymbi actually playing hero, keeping Mireu's back safe, throwing out the Tangle Barb just to make sure the River can't cancel that back, so Mireu can stay. Because, yeah, a minute and 25 seconds, this is where you want to make sure that you have your lane states pushed, because there's a chance VKS can still contest at those grubs.
I mean, they've got plenty of time. There's no trade of objectives going on since it is so early, and I definitely would expect them to try and set up. I'd say the first priority of setting up for grub fight is the banana brush in River,
Kobe, I'll let you finish
which allows you the setup.
3 people bot side. I think we're going for a dive right now onto Boal. He has the World Ender available, pops it, trying to stay alive. Public execution lands. Boal in trouble. River tanks up turret perfectly. First blood to Quid.
Galio ultimate invested here for 100 Thieves, so they sent a lot of resources. That is going to allow first blood for 100 Thieves, but they're giving up turret plates in mid lane. Ahri's pushing that wave into tower. And those minions are going to go down quite quickly there. Top side as well, though. They're scrapping heavily.
Feeling confident up there. But yeah, right, Kobe, nothing is free. That was a good move from Mireu to make sure that he's getting those plates mid.
It does set Dhokla up in a really good position, right? And what they like to do with him is kind of stick him in a side lane after this, kind of potentially play the weaker side of the map and leverage it that way. At least that's how 100 Thieves have been using him kind of throughout this run. And I did like how they set it up, right, with the River wraparound, knowing that they had the Galio ultimate there and willing to sacrifice a few turret plates to Mireu in the process.
Yeah, I mean, 100 Thieves having both of their solo laners be strong off of this is huge. They are also going to go over to Grubs and start them up. Looks like they are going to get them in trade for their Raptors. That is a very fine trade, for 100 Thieves. Very nice.
Well, what if it's a Raptors and a buff?
I think it is still fine, but Disamis is kind of toying with the idea of taking the whole red side, which involves Krugs as well. So Dhokla's going to see them on the Krugs. So the red buff spawning later means that would be a long time to stick around. Does get a lot of money out of those Krugs, though, as Dhokla gives them a little bit of extra damage on exit. But 100 Thieves should be very happy here, getting some grubs, getting their solo lanes ahead, as we said, because not only did Dhokla get some money off the tower afterwards, after the dive, but they also got the 2 stacks on the Dark Seal here for Quid's Galio. A little bit of extra power, too.
And I think the grubs are really important, especially having all 3 of them for, again, a lot of these cross-map plays. The 100 Thieves do like to do with these 2 solo laners, especially with the Galio ultimate in pocket. You can kind of stick him into a side lane, have him join a fight whenever you want, and have those grubs for extra pushing power. So it just really suits what 100 Thieves like to do. So good pickup for them.
It feels good for Mireu to get those plates from earlier, but we're getting to that point. I mean, I just saw Quid's back and purchase. He's got not a completed item, but a lot of HP already. It's almost past the point already where the J4 and the Ahri can really threaten like a kill on the mid lane at any point, and I'm getting concerned that the Ahri won't scale as well into this game. I want to see some action from VivoCade because they have such strong early game tools.
Well, Kangas, when you immediately complete the Malignance, you definitely want to immediately use your ultimate. So Ahri is very ready to comply with you and give you some action. We'll see if Mireu is able to get some good Ahri ultimates and some possible picks there, but in the side lane versus Dhokla, it will probably need a little bit of extra help if he's going to make that happen.
Yeah, you kind of saw him feinting up towards the mid lane, seeing if maybe there's going to be a fight. Nope, okay, I'd already pushed the wave to turret. Now that Dhokla is back in there catching it.
River's going for an invade. Yeah, Boal spots him. Disamis is nearby, so River has to back off.
Aatrox with no flash and getting chunked pretty heavily does require some defense there for VKS. So once they see, all right, Jarvan's here also, not going to over push or overstay or anything. Dragon will be up in 40 seconds. So you have plenty of time to get your recall off then. As long as it's before like 30 seconds, everyone can go back, get the necessary vision tools, and reset to the other side of the map if they do want to fight it.
Especially somebody like Quid on the Galio who can always just ult into the fight here. It hasn't picked up that first item, so I imagine Quid will want that. But while going for a little trade there, we'll have to catch this wave here as now the Dragon will be coming up shortly. Currently, it's only 100 Thieves Vision really populating the area. There's a couple of VKS wards, but 100 Thieves so far with more control in the area.
Well, you can kind of see them doing the classic, right, with Lucian pushing up this mid wave, get mid prio. You can potentially rotate to Drake off of that with Ambessa pushing in the bot wave as well. So it does look like they're at least going to be getting a little setup in here.
I like what Eyla's done. Notice because he has Spellbook here, he actually anticipates getting like Neeko ulted or something. So he goes over to the cleanse so that when he looks for his Rakan engage, he can just cleanse off you know, whatever root or charm is getting in his way and continue on with his engage. But he doesn't have a lot of life. Rakan's pretty squishy, so we'll see if they can make it happen. River tanking the Dragon at the moment.
Yes, they're walking up. Yeah, they're pushing River back all the way into the pit. Now Dhokla's going to try and make some space. There's teleports coming in. Disamis goes in, away from the rest of the team. There's that Pop Blossom. They're getting onto the carry. FBI's in trouble! FBI down. Quid gets in a little late. They trade for the jungler, so no smite contest from VKS. But without that Lucian, it's going to be tough. Charm lands onto Dhokla. Assassinated in the pit. VKS find 2 and will go for the Dragon.
And it is Mireu, the star mid laner for VKS. He comes up huge. Yeah, the Rakan might have cleansed, but FBI didn't have cleanse. FBI just gets a headshot. Dhokla then also gets hit with the charm. Mireu, there you go. the Ahri flash well invested, the Ahri malignance high value there.
Yep.
VKS get Dragon number 2.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice collapse from them. And again, Mireu, the person that they've been trying to put all of this money into, shows up fantastically well, even with the jungler going down here on the back half of this. The big thing is getting on to FBI, right? Because he will be able to do so much damage in this fight. So even when Disamis comes in, Trymbi immediately goes, I know my man, Pop Blossom directly onto FBI, he immediately explodes.
And that's why that brush right there, that banana brush, that little curved brush leading up to the objective.
It's important.
It is the most important objective for setups for you know, dragons like this, and Mireu does a good job. They got a control ward in that brush. He flash charms right out of it onto FBI, and FBI, yeah, like he has barrier, but that's not going to get him out of the charm, and so it's just really well done, and it's nice to see because this matchup of the mid laners is what everybody was most hyped for coming into this match. You've got the, you know, tier 1 over here, LTA North #1 seed, all team, all pro mid laner Quid versus the LTA South first team all pro in Mireu, and both of them really able to make some highlight plays. So let's see about the follow-up though. Doesn't really move the gold that much, so it's Dragon number 2.
Dead even in gold right now. It's really that Dragon stack, and VKS will want to make sure that they continue that because, again, I see them as a composition that can make very aggressive plays. I think this is the type of team that would be very happy if they can stack up Dragons as a win condition. But Herald will be up in a minute. That's the next thing immediately to look at on the Rift.
Yeah, especially with, again, the way that Cade likes to play is a bit similar to how 100 Thieves like to cross-map a few times, where they're going to try to get you to overload, or they are going to overload a side to try to leverage it for something on the other side of the map, or force you to make a mistake.
How about invades for blue buffs? Is that something that either team is open? Mireu's not spotted. He's in the... Oh, charm goes a little wide. That was close. They almost found the charm onto River right there.
Boal is coming.
Yeah, Aatrox has roamed down, so 100 Thieves is going to have to back off the pseudo blue invade. But it does mean Dhokla's going to be able to push in the top side. So let's see what, you know, the value of the Ambessa push on top side. Does seem to be decent since they have full 3 grubs. He's going to do a decent amount of damage there, and a few of the minions do die off.
And that's kind of how both teams like to try to leverage these small advantages across the map, right? It's like, okay, we're going to make this aggressive play onto one of your buffs. We're going to try to pull you in one sort of direction. Both 100 Thieves and Cade love doing this, right? So we're going to see a lot of this. This Trymbi might be caught out.
Aggressive play here from Eyla. Hero's entrance from Quid. Feet of Warfare claimed. 100 Thieves find a pick in the jungle.
Nice play here, you know, taking over Red Quadrant jungle, and VKS not being cautious enough in retaking territory over here. They did have a ward that is in river, as you can see right now, by the Rift Herald. But Eyla had snuck on there into the back position behind the red buff. So 100 Thieves, on top of their pick, they also get the Rift Herald. Well, VKS have gotten the Dragon priority. 100 Thieves have had priority over the purple side objectives, the Grubs and the Rift Herald that do turn into tower money.
Mireu again lands the charm. I don't think you have enough damage alone to really threaten the kill here onto Eyla, so he will be able to back off. Just controlling the control ward right now, making sure 100 Thieves can't clear it. But I also love those early setups because anytime an objective's up, you can tell everyone's going to go for it. But if you can be there 20 seconds before it spawns like Eyla was, those are the moments where you can catch the enemy support when they're going for these warding paths, especially the squishier ones like the Neeko.
Oh, we see VKS might be trying for something on the spot side onto Quid.
Time lands again onto Quid. The flash from Quid, very defensive. Like that play, and an immediate Rift Herald answer from 100 Thieves, so River actually dropping the Herald mid lane.
Yeah, and all of this is kind of in service for setting up for this Drake, right? Because with VKS having these 2 Drakes, they will be able to claim first start off this up.
Engage onto River, but he's actually looking aggressive. Now the rest of 100 Thieves are here. Flash from Disamis doesn't get over the wall, but he has the team nearby, so 100 Thieves don't want to go all the way onto him. Mireu and Boal trying to get their jungler out. River over the wall. Now Boal answering as well. He's trying to fake them out, but that's a clone warrior trickster. He's away! River actually gets out! He jukes VKS, and now Boal has to flash. Beautiful from River.
How many times is River going to do this? He always escapes with a sliver of health. He's always playing on the edge with champions like this Wukong, like the J4 we already mentioned.
That was crazy.
He can't keep getting away with it, Kobe.
That was very risky for my taste, but look at how many flashes they got for this. How many summoner spells are to the advantage of 100 Thieves. Even though kills don't go down in this, they gain so many summoner spells. And, you know, River starts it off. They're all three chasing him. He's juking at the beginning. He's using his knock up here on 3. Does start to get some of the summoner spells there. You saw Trymbi use his. You see Disamis use his. And then River's like, all right, we're going to keep on pressuring.
Yeah.
He does a good job. He flashes the charm. That was critical. But they
don't know.
The cooldown on his W is so long. Has to wait a little bit. And does come back up in time there to escape.
And you could tell the hesitation. Like, the Infernal Chains land. Oh, but back
the flashes being down are going to be the critical fight for this fart.
Okay.
Fight.
Hard for this fight. Dragon's up, Charm lands, Public Execution goes wide, but River's in there. Pop Blossom defensively as the Hero's entrance goes in. It's going to be a fight for the Dragon. Boal goes down. Dragon stolen! River gets the objective. Catapulted for Disamis. VKS are not done. Morttheus gets out of the backline. Killer Instinct clearing up everybody. Morttheus unleashed in the fight for the triple kill. Looking for the quadra kill. Morttheus cleans up the fight.
Morttheus, the rookie promoted this year, comes up huge. The Kaisa is getting rich.
Oh my gosh, what an insane fight coming out of both of these teams. You see how 100 Thieves want to contest. Eyla going in with the Galio ult on top of it. But just watch Morttheus throughout. Just like watch where he moves when he feels like he's able to go in. Right there, goes in, assassinates FBI, and then starts cleaning up the rest of them.
That was a beautiful re-engage there from VKS. Even though the Dragon was down to 50 HP, and River was able to get the steal, all of this gold onto the Kaisa is game-changing.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that passion. That's that love for League of Legends. That's the dream Kaisa play as well. He didn't get the pentakill. I guess Mireu wasn't quite feeling like giving that one up. But either way, I mean, yeah, this rookie coming in here just promoted up and already having a pop-off moment on stage here in Dallas.
Yeah, it's great to see how well both him and Mireu have performed thus far in this game. And now that gives Cade a little bit of a gold lead, 1.3, 1.4K. And it undoes all of the map pressure that 100 Thieves had created, right? Like, they tried to push up on this bot side. They got that turret really low. They pushed in mid with the Herald. They'd done that risky invade, come out of it with all of those flashes burned, like you pointed out, Kobe, in prep for Drake. The one good thing is they did, like you said, get the Dragon, so that does stop a little bit of this kind of early stacking, so VKS won't be on soul point just yet.
Yeah, and the big thing for VKS is that it is concentrated gold, concentrated onto this Kaisa. Morttheus is going to have to keep on coming up with some big plays and keep coming up with some carry plays for himself. I do like always, too, when you have double mobility summoner spells on a Kaisa like that, you know, that has the extra money because allows you to use it very effectively.
Yeah, and I want to bring our attention now because you're talking about maintaining that momentum. Otacon's on the rift here, so immediately my eyes go there as Disamis and Mireu are invading into the jungle here. River will spot them out, clear out a ward there, but anytime Otacon spawns, I immediately start thinking which team is going to pull the trigger and actually go for it.
It looks like VKS are at least going to clear out some of this vision.
I mean, this is the first step. You always want to clear out the vision, especially through the tri-brush, because this is a small choke that you want to pull the enemies to if you're going to start it out. And then you can pull it back towards the lane away from the choke. 100 Thieves, though, they want the entry point here through River, trying to take over the banana brush vision first. That is key.
And the other big thing is they have pushed out that bot wave, right? So you see FBI having to go back, kind of push that out. Bot prio when this Otacon is on this bot side is huge too.
I want to see what Kaisa's buying right now. Looks like they're not going to, force start anything. So just going to be some components here picked up as well. Nothing too monumental at the moment. So everyone just camping on brush, looking for anyone to get close for face check.
Yeah, I mean, not a full third item here for Morttheus, but still 1.8K in the lead. As really, it's 100 Thieves Dhokla, who's going to be the big difference for them in this ensuing team fight here. He's got 2.5 items completed himself. As it's just, fishing for that pick. If anybody can find that one out-of-position player, suddenly the Otacon is almost guaranteed for them. But you can also just start it up if you want to. VKS are being very patient here, though. not actually pulling the trigger. We have seen League of Legends games all year decided off of Otacon, decided off of picks in the side lane as well. The old classics sometimes work. Dhokla caught out, and VKS now a 5v4 at the objective.
The small cope for 100 Thieves is that he does have teleport, but it's a full 40-second death timer. So immediately starting up this Otacon here for VKS, they've got priority from their pre-existing vision. This is huge.
Now, keep in mind, we do still have Cyclone plus the Hero's Entrance combo, so 100 Thieves maybe still feel confident to go for it, but Boal has a little flank here. The Pop Blossom defensively. River's onto the Otacon! Not stolen. Disamis confirms the objective as Boal holds the line. Now Morttheus is turn to tag in. Another triple kill. Will it be another quadra kill? Boal will clean up the ace. VKS get the objective in the team fight.
With the Otacon plus all of these kills, VKS will start to destroy these 100 Thieves towers. They are making a very good case in game number 1.
And I really like how they played that, right? Like they drew out the TP, they recognized that they could then go down for a collapse onto Dhokla, taking him out. 100 Thieves try to get in here, but honestly, with Boal kind of in their face, right? Oh, that came so close.
Straight up even possibilities of stealing with a smite. Even got his Q in there, but Disamis just secures it.
Yep. And then with Boal kind of in the face of FBI, right? Like he's not able to get in to do damage. Eyla kind of hangs back, and that opens up the opportunity for Morttheus to just get in there, start killing people on the back half of that fight.
9-0-3 on the Kaisa.
Whew.
And it all just starts with this pick onto Dhokla on the side lanes. Really, really good pick by VKS, getting in there. Mireu just ults in on Ahri. They get the key pick onto the top laner, and then nice objective start up for them. Let's see about pushing it forward now over a 4,000 gold lead. You're going to be looking towards the Dragon Soul as the real kind of emphatic stamp on the end of the game. So there's still a possibility for comeback for 100 Thieves. Leading up to that fight. It's going to be very difficult, of course, with all the extra power from Otacon Flowers, as well as the gold lead and this turbo-fed Kaisa. But you still have a ray of hope there for a possible comeback. 100 Thieves going to try and remain creative, but...
Ooh, the flag and drag over the wall doesn't actually land, but the charm does onto River, so Wukong chunked out. VKS trying to establish their control of the game right now, flexing this gold lead and pushing 100 Thieves out of their jungle all the way to the tier 2 turrets.
Yeah, they're chasing them down there. They pushed in on the bot side as well with Boal.
Oh! They just don't want River to back.
And I like what we're seeing today from VKS, because when they got stomped by FlyQuest, as we're going to start a Baron here and try and bait them over.
I mean, they just chunked out River. They know he has to reset. They have a window where he's going to be running all the way back. 100 Thieves have to find a fight here to stop VKS, or maybe clean up the fight after the objective goes down. The smite is going to be nowhere close. So that is a Baron secured by VKS. No fight from the Thieves. Flash, public execution. Dhokla trying to catch Morttheus. Had his flash as well. He's out of there. Now maybe they can catch Trymbi, the support, in trouble here, but that's just the clone. In goes Quid. Taunt under 2. They got Trymbi. Can they get Mireu? The mid laner being protected by his top lane. VKS get out with 4 Barons.
All right, 100 Thieves should also try and get the objective bounty off of this top tower. They've got a minion wave right here. So it's going to be a tiny comeback, but it is just going to be a little tiny one at that. VKS still getting the Baron. Very, very big stuff for them. Of course, this cuts down the current Baron power play to negative with the extra kill on the tower going down. But we are going to be able to take some more towers as well with the Baron buff for VKS.
And there was a 4.4 thousand gold lead plus about 2,000 worth of petals. So VKS are very ahead, even if they're currently negative in the Baron play.
I think the key for today overall, what we're seeing in this game, is the improvements in confidence from VKS. This is something that Trymbi talked about when we had him on the Pros podcast. After they lost to FlyQuest in such a substantial way, he was like, wow, we really needed that kick in the butt to motivate us, and we are not going to play scared from now on. And they really just wanted to be able to show some really strong and impressive games. And so they're coming out here in game number 1 versus 100 Thieves, really swinging. Lots of really good pick plays from them. You know, Mireu on the Ahri play around Dragon to start them on their lead, and then picking off Dhokla as well in the side lane. So VKS very good, adaptations and kind of refocus here coming into this weekend.
Yeah, they've played team fights really well too, like kind of just allowing so much space for Morttheus to move around in these fights as the Kaisa. The other thing I really liked is just in general how they set up this Baron, right? Like they were pushing in that top side of the map. They'd pushed out bot side as well. And it was really, really easy for them to force 100 Thieves to come into them. That's been the biggest difference to me with Cade is their decisiveness and how they have kind of run 100 Thieves around the map once they have that lead.
Yeah, this is a much better look from VKS than we saw when they played FlyQuest before. That Baron buff, that Red Bull Baron power play netted them an additional 3,000 now. So you factor the 7.5K plus the 2K from the pedals. That means that they will have close to a 10K gold lead for this Dragon Soul fight in 25 seconds.
Let me see. Do you like those odds? 100 Thieves here. They need to full send. They know the odds are stacked against them, so they just have to full send with a Galio on ult on top of somebody. Ayla's got to get in there. Wukong's got to get in there. They have to go for a full send engage on this Kaisa, even though he has Guardian Angel. He doesn't have Flash.
Yep.
So their idea is to try and burst him down twice.
I do love that GA build, though, because you know that you're going to be the target. You know that you are 3,500 of your team's gold lead. Very young player. Can Morttheus step up to the pressure? Dragon is started. 100 Thieves are on the approach. River's toying around just in case he has a window to go in. Boal's now going to push him back as VKS are trying to keep the Dragon open. River's in there, trying to look for the steal. Can River get it? The second Cyclone, he's targeted down! It's secured by Disamis! Exhaust on Morttheus, but it just won't matter. Public execution, maybe they take him down. Not before the double kill. He goes into the stasis, into the res. A double kill to Boal. Quid will go down. Triple to Morttheus for the third time. And again, the ace to VKS.
12-0-5 on this Kaisa. What a performance from Morttheus and what a performance from Cade, showing up absolutely huge today, showing us what they potentially learned from that loss against FlyQuest and really taking it to 100 Thieves.
If you talked to the Brazilian fans, if you talked to the Brazilian players, they weren't happy with how things went last weekend. But this weekend, VKS will take first game in Dallas.
Impressive stuff for game number 1, and we're just getting started, Kangas.
Yeah, this is a best of 5, and we already expected this to be a bloody best of 5. Look at all the picks, all the aggressive team fights, and Morttheus stepping up huge in the critical moments. That's our thoughts on it, though. I can't wait to hear what the Lounge has to say about game number 1.
Definitely not going to be 9-0 against the South for 100 Thieves. Definitely not.
Yeah, you're right about that. I apologize to Emily for the 3-1 on that one. It might go the other way. VKS are crazy today in just game 1 alone.
Yeah, I mean, Mireu had a great team fight at the start of the Dragon. He found FBI with the Charm Flash. He found Dhokla right after that. That gave him second Dragon, and then after that, it was just a Morttheus show the whole game.
Yeah, we want to break this game down because it ended up being